What's up everyone, Steven here with techmaker.tv. This is building a decentralized chat with Node JS and aleph.im part 13. In the last episode, we worked out how to go ahead and hook up our left bar over here so that if we create a channel and it automatically adds us to that channel, it will show up here in our list. So we can go over here to /channel/new and we can say something like techmaker and create this channel, and theoretically that should go ahead and create that for us and hook it up in that left column. So now we have two channels here, and these are both ones I've created. Now we have some styling issues, like they're both displaying like they're active, and if we click on them, it's going to try to take us to a route that doesn't exist yet. So we're going to go ahead and get that fixed and basically try to hook up the chat. Now, we won't be able to get multiple people chatting with each other yet because we don't have the ability to join a channel. But I'm going to go ahead and get everything else hooked up. And in the next episode, this may not be a clear-cut ending on this episode. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm just going to kind of work for 15 or 20 minutes and then kind of stop, and then we'll see where we end up. I think in 2 to 3 episodes, we should have the core functionality finished. All right. All of that said, let's go ahead and just jump in. So what I want to do first is kind of work out what I want to happen on the home page is there to be no messages loaded and you just pick a channel, because we're not going to have a default channel necessarily. At least that's not how I'm thinking about it now. So what I want to do, if we come back over here to our post, and so right here we're providing this variable posts to the front end, and then in index.js we're looping through those posts right here. So what I would like to do is something like check if we have any posts. Before we do that, let's go refresh. It's going to make me log in again probably. And I should get an error now about not having a variable post. Yeah, post is not defined. So what I want to do is say if, and I think there's a variable, again, this is a little bit new to me. I think we can do if locals.post like this, and then come down here, tab all this in, and then just kind of close that off. So I think that when we send over variables like this, we're specifying channels as the variable, user, so on and so forth. I think all that gets defined on this locals variable. I think that's what it is. Let's try this out and see what happens. Hopefully it works. Cool. So basically you can see here we're not loading any messages. And in fact, what I would like to do is bump, not that, I'm going to bump that up there like that. And I'm going to bump this down. Not that. Again, wrong deal. So now I've got that encapsulated inside of that. And I actually want to get all of this and put it in here too. Like that. So basically the right side is going to just be blank, hopefully. So I guess what I can do is just put kind of an empty state in here. So above this, I can say something like else, and I need to do this sort of correctly with JavaScript, which is kind of funny looking, but it is what it is. So let's just say choose a channel to get started, and let's just see if it shows up. Okay, cool. So we can style that. We could do anything we want here. So we could do div class equals alert info like this. Okay. So you can see why we would want to do a lot of the data processing asynchronously instead of on each page load, because it takes a second every time. So the MT4 here just to kind of make it look halfway decent. And this should get us going. Cool. All right, so let's get it set up where we actually load the channel when we click on one of these items. So we're already going to the correct route. And I kind of set all this up earlier intentionally. So we can actually click on this link and it takes us to the right place. We're just not setting everything up the way that we need. So if let's see, what do we need to change here? So we're down here on this room. This is where we want to be. But we're going to need some of the stuff that we set up in get/ up here. So I'm going to copy all this stuff, right? And then let's come on down and we'll put this here, like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and new line all this stuff like we did above so we can see it a little bit more easily. And we can just put channels and then channels.posts like that. And now let's see if when we click on one of these, it actually, something crashed. Let's see here. Pull this up, scroll all the way down. I got a syntax error somewhere. Probably left a comma off or something. Channel refs. Oh, I didn't put async in here. That's what it is. So up here, we need to make this async. And I'll probably need to check that. I am getting myself lost all over the place. So we're awaiting, and then what I'm going to do here is say let post equal, or let result equal that, and then we will go ahead and cut this, and we don't need this then anymore. Yeah, so it should be like that. Sorry for all the bouncing around. Okay, cool. So if we come up here and look at that, that should look basically the same. And let me pull this down a little bit more. I'm really not used to not having the whole screen to see. Okay, so we'll save that and see if it crashes. It doesn't look like it does. Let's go refresh, and it's already doing it for me, so we'll log back in. Okay, cool. So now let's see if we can click on one of these. So now I'm on a room, but it's telling me I don't have, why is that doing that? So we don't have any posts, right? So let's have a look at exactly what's going on. Okay, so back over in the code, let me try something really quick. What happens if, I take this post now? Let's just take this away for a sec. I'm wondering if I did something wrong there, so let's just refresh like this. Missing a parenthesis. Okay, so it's not that I want to take away. It's this, all this business. All right, let's try that again. Reverse of undefined. So actually posts are undefined. Did I do something obvious back in the code or forget to do something obvious? Let's go check. All right, so we're in get rooms. So posts. No, I don't understand. Why do I not have posts? Let's console.log out the result here. You know what? I didn't await that. That's why. That's a promise. Here we go. There's an obvious thing I'm doing wrong. Okay, finally, hopefully. That's the problem with copying and pasting code in actual fact. Try to go fast. A lot of times it works. Sometimes you screw stuff up. Okay, cool. So let me click a channel. And now in theory, I should have the message is gone and I have my form back. So it's acting like I have a way to post. But we haven't hooked up anything with the posts, and what's also weird is these are like the opposite now. So I don't know what's going on with that. Let's go check that out really quick. So what we want to happen, we don't actually have a current channel, right? I'm not sure that we need to like fetch a channel because we have the hash of the channel in the params. So what I mean by that, if you don't follow, is up here we have this link to rooms and then channel with the item hash. So we have the item hash of the channel, so we don't really need to necessarily query that because that's really the main piece of information that we want. And if that sounds confusing, here's what I mean. So we have the sketch that we still have pulled up, and we have the message that we're going to create, and it needs to have the channel item hash as a foreign key, basically, which we're going to put in the ref. So we only really need the hash, and we already have it in the param. So we don't need to re-look up the channel. And then we have the user account from the logged in user. So we don't need to query anything extra here. What we will want to do for, I guess, making it kind of easy is, again, I keep getting lost here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this. I'm going to say current channel hash. And then I'm going to say, what is it? Request dot something. Request dot params dot room. Right. And actually, so what's happening automatically is, so we may change this language up to be channels later since we've changed that terminology. But what's happening is this channel hash is already getting pulled out on the room, and we're looking up down here. We're looking up stuff that has the ref of room already. So that's actually quite cool because that means everything should just kind of work as long as we put the message in the right place. You know what? Before we even let's go look at the form really quick. So we've got this form down here, and it's got the action of room. So this may automatically just work, without us even changing anything. So, well, actually, you know what? Yeah, I think if we look back over here at how we did this, so we have the room set, right, in the variables. I'm trying to think about, yeah, it's right here. I've already done this. Cool. So everything's really already set up for us. So what I want to do is, I'm just trying to think about why this channel, so we've hard-coded Hall in here and said active. I don't know why that is. What we want to do is if room equals channel dot item hash, and so we're looping through the channels right here. So we have this channel variable. We're pulling the channel item hash off. So here I just want to check if the room is equal to the channel item hash, set it to active. So that's really all I was trying to get to, and we're refresh now. We have to log in again. If I can type. So pick a channel. Now you can see these things are no longer active anymore. And so if we click one, hopefully now that TechMaker channel is active. And if I say hello, I'm thinking it might just work. Yeah. So now let's go check over on the Aleph Explorer over here. And we'll go to the general dashboard. And we got a chat coming across. Now one thing I want to change is I don't want to put that in chat. And you can see here we have our ref. What I want to call this is messages. In our index here, we'll make one more change, and it'll be to the post message method. And where, that's post register. Sorry, looking at the wrong deal. So what I want to do is just make this messages. Okay, just kind of get out of that just general chat thing, and kind of take over our own, model naming essentially. So if we come back and we refresh, and actually, for me to make this work, I'm going to have to make sure I query the same messages. All right, so we are going to query like that. And then while I'm also here, let me go ahead and just get rid of all the message queries up here, because we're not going to show messages on the root path. Okay, so let's try this out. That was a little bit easier than I thought, actually. So we'll go to final test, hopefully here. And we'll post is the first message in this channel. And that should show up via the WebSocket, so that works good. Back over here on TechMaker. So we don't have, well, we do have our message coming in, which is odd. So just really quick, let's look at that. I guess it's because the WebSocket's actually just now. That's a little bit of a trick, if I'm guessing. So the WebSockets, we need to listen to type equals messages here. So basically, if you followed along from the beginning, we had a filtering process where we actually filtered out a bunch of stuff. And so we were getting a blast of messages as soon as we loaded the screen, in addition to already having pulled them back from the server on our side. So we were kind of filtering stuff out, and I think because probably it got added via the WebSocket there, because it said, hey, is this thing on the screen? And it wasn't, because it didn't come back on the server side. That's my hypothesis. Let's try it out and see if we get it. No, we're still getting it. It's possible that this WebSocket stuff isn't fully built out. It's just my guess. In any case, I'm not going to worry about it too much just yet. We will probably need to add some more filtering later. So in any case, let's just stick with it, but it looks like it's all set up and working here. So that's good. Come over here and see what it looks like. So cool, our channels are working. Nice. So that's pretty much it for this episode. In the next episode, we're going to look at how to get somebody to actually join a channel, and that's going to kind of wrap up the core here. So once we have all of that, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to continue this series in this exact manner. What I may do is move on to something else for just a little bit and then come back, because we will have done probably 15 or 20 episodes by the time I'm fully done with this. So we may do a little bit more to the user interface. I'm not 100% sure exactly how far I'm going to take it, I guess is the point. But we're probably going to build this again with more of like an Electron or something like that, so that it's like a desktop app, so that it's a little bit less dangerous to have your keys, stuff stored in it. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I'm also going to kick up some new series pretty soon about NFTs and that sort of thing. So just something I'm kind of interested in. I've actually got a side project I'm doing right now that has some NFT stuff in it. So I thought it would be kind of fun. In any case, if you made it this far, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.